Greetings, my friends, and welcome to a USA campaign summary, my friends. We're going to have a quick look here at where we stand with the United States campaign, just to refresh our minds of where we stand at the moment, just before we get into the campaign proper. Now, as you can see here, we have finally taken Vilnius here, after a massive fight here with the Russians. As those of you might remember, we were initially almost goaded into a trap by the Russians. They pulled out of Vilnius, and then we sort of, as we moved closer, thinking, hang on, they might be evacuating Vilnius just to leave it to us, because of course we were coming in with the Marine Corps, we were coming in with some really, really elite armies, as it were, something that was going to really kick the door in, as it were. Then suddenly they moved in a huge raft, maybe 3 army groups back into Vilnius. There was the trap set. They tried to spring that trap on us, but thankfully we weren't close enough for that trap to really snap shut upon us. And it sort of gave us the opportunity to see then what we were up against, the true depth of what the Russians had behind them. And it was a massive force, it really, really was. As you can see here, just sort of in the forests here of Lithuania, and into sort of as we move into sort of Moscow proper here, because we are pretty deep now into Russian territory. As you can see here, some of this is what were the remains of the defenders of Vilnius, not all of them were destroyed, and some of them are still in pretty good order. But also we see just on the fringes here, as you can see here, on the fringes here, just past the river here, you can see what we have in store potentially as we move closer to Moscow. Now look at this here. This is a very, very powerful army indeed. Grenadiers, looking at household cavalry here as well, the absolute apogee of fighting forces here in terms of cavalry. We've also got here, as you can see, sort of the remnants now. They're starting to build some forces here to potentially move against us here as we move closer to Moscow. As we move closer to Moscow, we can pretty much guarantee that the resistance is going to become much stiffer, possibly even fanatical as we get closer. Because you can see here, as we move through Lithuania now, we are just a hair's breadth away from the Moscow, or Muscovy as it were, here territory. As you can see, Moscow here is a sort of the spider's web of roads that lead all over to wherever, what remains of Russia's territory, because as you can see here, the vast majority of it was and still is under control of Germany. We've also got a French territory up here in Karelia, which has been sort of fought over between the Russians and the French. But there's another territory, as you can probably absolutely just cast its shadow over the entirety of the north here, and that's St. Petersburg. We're just moving a little bit closer here. As you can see, we're looking at some really, really powerful Russian forces here. Now, although you can see that they might not be in the finest of fettle in terms of them, looks like they are taking some damage here, or maybe even some units are moving away from them here. As you can see, they do have some still powerful forces. We mustn't underestimate the Russians here at all. This is a very powerful force, and even if we were to move in, say with this force here, and as you can see ourselves, all of our units here are involved in our battle. The majority of them replenishing and repairing, bringing back up to full health as it were. So we've still got a huge amount to do here before we're even able to comprehend, even facing what the remnants of what's left of the Russian forces here. And that's not, of course, to say that the Russians might not be able to rearm themselves as well. So again, we might even be up for stiffer opposition, as it were, as we move deeper and deeper into Russian territory. And of course, we can't neglect this northern redoubt here of the Russians. It really packs a powerful punch. We have cut off the trade here, which is possibly why you're seeing lots of frayed flags here from the Russians. Perhaps their economy is starting to really buckle under the pressure of our assaults, but also their assaults on the economy. As you can see here, we've trapped in their main sort of fleet here and sealed off the Baltic. We're also trying to chase down the remnants here, this force here that was sort of loitering around Finland, the capital of Finland here. We're trying to clear Finland in its entirety, potentially move this army group down to sort of help towards attacking St. Petersburg, which will have to be reduced. It'll have to be taken on. We can't avoid that. Now, as you can see here, we are going to begin to replenish, repair. There's even the remnants here of this force just sort of left behind, as it were. It couldn't escape the forces we sort of threw at Vilnius. We've also got this force here that's going to move quite clearly into Belarus to escape. Then of course, as we move further south, you've got this force here, this sort of small German force here, but there's a quite considerable force, and that's a pretty experienced general here, and that's not a force to be sniffed at all. That could provide some problems with us. But we are at peace with Germany for now, at least. And also we've got the remnants here of this Russian force that was trying to move through Galicia. Now, of course, France and Russia are at war. So those forces that were trying to move in through Galicia and come up around here and sort of go from Lublin to Warsaw were in fact mauled by the French. But if we move down further, even sort of eastwards, southeast as it were, as you can see, we find here now these are powerful forces. We mustn't become complacent. That really will be our undoing. They've got some very, very powerful forces here, the Russians. They've got this army in particular is very, very powerful indeed. And its experience, look at the experience here. This one has been through quite the mill. We've also got this force here, this guarding the Kiev, Ukraine itself, and another force here in Kiev itself. That's what we've got this spy, our rake down here, to keep an eye on things, what's going on. But we are looking to move closer to Moscow to see what they have here. This is the epicenter, the absolute anchor for the entirety of what remains of the Russian Empire. But we really have given them a real bloody nose here by taking Vilnius. It is the principal production center that was diametrically opposed to Warsaw and Königsberg, but now we've sort of got that foothold, that toehold in here, this bridgehead in Russian territory. We can either go up north, or we can swing to sort of southeast, as it were, or fully eastwards, or maybe even move down. But then again, we can't cross into Belarus. That's the problem. We can't cross it unless we declare war upon Germany. We can't move through Belarus, so we effectively have to go through Russia and move down, or we have to perhaps go through Galicia, which we can do because I think we do have military access to the French territories, but we'll have to check. And of course, we've still got a great swathe here of the Balkans under German control. Now, as you can see here, we have sort of a thin line, but look at that. There behind us here, another Russian force moving behind here, which we're going to have to intercept and deal with. But as you can see, we've got this sort of thin blue line here that is guarding what potentially could be sort of the last throw of the dice by the Germans if they move against us here. But they are starting to build up some strength here, as you can see in Sarajevo. Look at that, Swiss. They're starting to increase the Swiss line infantry here. They've even get some Feldjäger here, missile cavalry, so they're starting to build back up again. We've got to be on our toes here, we really do. We can't let that go. But we've got this army group here, very, very powerful force indeed, that was earmarked to move from Croatia in and strike Sarajevo at a moment's notice here, as you can see. Very powerful army group indeed. There's earmarked to go into Venice. Now, of course, the council are calling for us to move against Venice, and indeed to move against Naples as well. So we'll be looking to do that as well, but Naples really would be a sound capture. It really would. It would deal a blow not only to Naples, as it were, because, well, the Nepalese, as it were, because they are at war with us. But as you can see, our sort of trade embargo here has really crushed their economy. Although they do have trade along here with Italian states, of course, but it's not going to maintain the sheer magnitude of the forces they've got here. They do have this here as well, this army here, which they have managed to maintain. So that'll still be quite a battle to sort of wrench that away from them. And as we move here, we've got Venice as another target for this army group here. The council have given their sort of blessing, as it were, to that assault on Venice, which we will be doing. As you can see, we've got all of the capitals, the sort of the spine here of Central Europe is all under our control here. And then we come to the part where I think the council has its greatest concern. I too share that concern, my friends. It's Spain. I mean, Spain is a titan. It really is an absolute monster. As you can see, they don't have many frayed flags at all. In fact, they are at full strength. There's two I can see here that are frayed here, and they're probably going to be replenished. Look at that. I mean, that is a monstrous army, and that's just one of must be 30 armies, at least 30 armies. They must have at least, I'd say, 8, 9 army groups here on the front here. Now we have, as you can see, we have got a good array of troops here, but they've got depth as well. And we you know, because we've been, our eye has been sort of cast upon Vilnius here. We've got Stuttgart and we've got Hanover, but we don't really have anything here. The sort of the main production center we've got closest to the Spanish border is Munich. Now we are trying to feed forces in from Copenhagen as well. As you can see, we've got a force here that's being put together here. That's going to be moved down to sort of cover this flank of Hanover here. But again, it is going to be opposed by an extraordinary amount of Spanish force. I mean, look at this. We can just take a quick glimpse. I know this is conscripts, but it's the sheer amount of force they could put together here. It's going to cause us problems. And they also have that quality and depth as well. Some of these armies really are battle-hardened armies as well. Let me look at that. And here, look at this in Paris itself and in France. They really are looking quite going to be a formidable foe. Now, unfortunately, Britain hasn't really been able to stir for us here in any way. But we have fought most of our enemies to a standstill, but we've managed to push back here against the Russians. But it's here, this sort of, with Amsterdam being the sort of the principal bastion here for the Spanish close to our border. We've got this huge monolith, this behemoth of a production centre of Paris, which is probably the largest, possibly even greater than London. That is saying something there, my friends. And of course, they've got still controlled the sort of north of Milan, of Italy here, by two strong forces here. So of course, if we move into Venice, there's every chance they'll move against us. And of course, there's still Madrid. They've still got a huge plethora of forces around Gibraltar and in Morocco, as you can see. Portugal is fully garrisoned by Swiss line infantry as well, no less. So we're seeing quite an established Spanish threat here, particularly along the front here, along this line here. Now, they haven't moved against us, and there's been some debate within the council of why they haven't. I think the majority, or the main thrust that comes out of it, is probably because of our sheer strength. They haven't dared to move against us because of the strength of sort of our military, as it were. They know if they attack us, then they will probably have equal force back at them, and that's, I think, what's keeping them hemmed in. But perhaps if they see our gaze moved away from the west to the east, where we've committed a huge amount of our military. I mean, this by any standards, it's got to be at least 7 army groups. That is a considerable, that's at least 100,000 men committed here to this front. That's a huge investment by ourselves. We've also got Courland here, and so we've got the stragglers here, but Courland, as you can see, is hopefully going to remain at peace, but that would be a problem if they decided to move against us. We do, of course, have Riga. That's under our control as well, as is Stockholm here. Norway are an ally with us, but they haven't done anything for or help us in any way, but that's fine. That's their decision, as long as they keep themselves and, you know, I guess do what they want to do in terms of their own sphere of influence. That's absolutely fine. And then, of course, we can move further east, where we do have Cairo and the Middle East under our control. But Ankara, we are finally, after many, many years, bringing Ankara fully under US control by eliminating these armies that have been loitering around our territory, Anatolia, for decades. And then, of course, we've got Georgia here. We do have Armenia, which is this army here is at full strength. It is indeed. Then we've got Baghdad here. We're at war with, but we lost Baghdad. One of our few losses in recent years. Persia, of course, is going to be quite the battle there again, because as you can see, they are moving towards Armenia, and they are packing a punch. I mean, that is a lot of troops. Because not only are they are quite decent troops, the Quilbashi, or Quivilbashi. They do have some considerable forces here. The sheer magnitude of the number of forces, even coming from here as well. So they're well prepared for a fight, the Persians. And of course, then as we go deeper into here, we've got, of course, the Mughal Empire, who we're at war with. And the Mughals do have the entirety of the subcontinent under their control. And they are well dug in. Well dug in. Although we are seeing some fraying at the edges here, does this spell potential problems here for them? Mind you, look at this. It really is a formidable foe. Mind you, these are at full strength, so that might just be maybe they've got some conflict up here in the north. But as you can see, oh my goodness me, even 64 pounders. Look at that, elephant musketeers. It's going to be a real fight here. We do have a sort of foothold within the region here in Ceylon here. Trincomalee here. We've got also a very powerful force of naval force here just to guard our assets here. Also coming in off the Indian Ocean here. Our trade route here is open. We did quell and quash any problems within the East Indies trade route. But we've still got a huge amount to do, a massive amount to do. And then we can't, for some reason, we can't reinforce Ankara with line infantry. For some reason we can't get that unless we get Istanbul. That in itself is going to be a titanic fight. So we've got a huge amount to do, but that would give us access to the Balkans from the rear, as it were, effectively sandwiching the remaining sort of German redoubt here between an Istanbul force and the force here in Hungary and sort of Croatia. Of course, we pull that army back or we might even move down and maybe take all of Italy for ourselves here, maybe reinforcing this force here with it. But as you can see, my friends, we've got a huge amount to do. Now, of course, back here we've got, of course, Britain here in the homeland, sort of it's got a foothold here in Arcadia, but also the majority of Canada is under British control, which is absolutely fine. All of North America and South America is under our control, bar a few islands here by the British. And of course we've got Courland here. How Courland got this? And still got French has still got these trade notes here as well. We can't see what's being fed into here, but look at that, 11,385 coming from there alone. But it doesn't look like there's anything going into here, which is unusual. They do have a pretty powerful force there, but again, let's just say that the majority of the New World is under US control, with a sort of a spattering of British contingencies here and there in the Caribbean. Courland, for some reason, has these. I'm not sure how, but we are in fact the de facto masters of the New World. That cannot be in any doubt at all. So that, my friends, is where we stand, and that is a brief summary. We are trying to put some forces together here in Cairo to move out against Persia, but that's, as you can see, the distances involved are vast. To get from Damascus straight across to Baghdad takes many weeks. And even if you follow the sort of the coast road and then sort of move up through here in Aleppo here and then moving down through here towards Baghdad, it takes such a long time, and even then you're going to be intercepted by vast amounts of Persian forces who have sort of scattered themselves around sort of our territories while we sort of hunker down in the cities. But again, my friends, that is where we stand at the moment. This is a sort of a summary so we can jump straight into the campaign. We're going to start to replenish these units, bring them back up, these forces back to full strength. We are going to be looking to reinforce this front here, but I'll just pose this one last question to the council before I sort of end this summary here. If Spain declares war upon us, do we move the Marine Corps from east to west? Because the Marine Corps really has been the battering ram, the spear that has sort of pierced everything in its way, kicked in so many doors. Do we use the Marine Corps to do that for us again? And of course, look at that, we've got lots of replenishing to do here and reinforcing to do here. As you can see, we've still got some Marines in this really powerful force here of LNH here, General LNH. We've got some of the finest council members all here, ready and having been involved in some brutal fighting. They really have. As you can see, look at this, down to 23 men. That's how brutal the fighting was. So just to get the council's approval, as it were,
Sir, make ready.
it really was a heck of a fight.
Yes.
So again, you know, there it is. There is the Marine Corps. As you can see here, we've had to pull it off the line, keep it away so we can replenish. But look at this, down to 31 men. That's how brutal the fighting was. 14 men here, the Continental Marines, 11 here. But again, I shall wait for the Council's advice. But anyway, my friends, I hope you have enjoyed this, and I hope this will give you some information to be able to sort of start forming strategies of where we might go, your tactics, what might happen now in the future. But as always, my friends, I'll be jumping straight into the new campaign from here, and I'll see you right there, my friends. Bye for now. Greetings and welcome to episode 152 of my Empire Total War Darth Mod USA campaign. This, my friends, out of it last time. Hopefully, my friends, the summary has brought us up to full speed here and where we stand now within this campaign. We've had a terrific fight, a terrific battle last episode for Vilnius. It really was the linchpin of the Russian sort of onslaught moving in. Remember, for many, many years we were fighting on the outskirts here of Warsaw, trying to keep what was a constant stream of Russian armies trying to break through the front lines, which we did. We're succeeding in then behind that front line, building up some very powerful forces, including the Marine Corps, which again has been used once again to batter in, to kick in the door of the enemy, which we have done here. Vilnius is now under United States control. As you can see, we've still got the remnants here of the defenders of Vilnius, just loitering about, which we will deal with them. And of course, here are the forces that we were defending of Vilnius. They've been pushed aside here. They're running for all their might towards Moscow. That's absolutely fine, because it gives us a chance to replenish and repair here. As you can see, even the Marine Corps, which defeated an entire army group, and effectively did all of the hard work in terms of breaking the back of the defenders here. Even they're down to 11 men, some of these regiments. 22 men here, as you can see, 14. Really was a terrific battle here. So the Marine Corps is going to be pulled off the line for a number of months to recuperate and replenish. But we do have good armies here, well rounded and formidable armies here in its path. We've got some wonderful council members as well, ready to move and to defend. As they see, look at that there. I mean, it's an exceptional army. It really is. This one is a real vanguard army that pushes absolutely just. It's something that just pushes aside the enemy. It's one that sort of chases after the enemy, runs them down. We've still got a huge amount of firepower here. Now, as I said in the summary, we have committed a huge amount of our military assets here on the Russian front. At least 100,000 men, if not more. That also includes Finland as well here, as we're trying to run down the last vestiges here of this Russian force here that was trying to move against Finland. Now we've got Finland fully secure. As you can see, these armies here fully secure. This army as well, up to full strength. We're chasing down this army here. We can't give them any leeway at all. There's Norwegian force here, up in the north, but Norway's really kept itself to itself, which is absolutely fine. Of course, the elephant in the room, as it were, is St. Petersburg. It is effectively isolated now. It is isolated entirely by ourselves, even cut off by Caesars. The only way they can move in is through Moscow here. But every other pathway is blocked off. We've got France here, and then of course you've got ourselves here in Riga, and then Lithuania as well. So they are effectively trapped. They can only go one way, and that's towards Moscow. But they do have, the Russians, these forces here moving in. These are and were not involved in the fighting. We don't know what's here yet, but we do need to find out what's been going on here. We really do. So we're going to have to send a spy forward into Moscow just to see here. As you can see, we've got Kiev here, and again we're still looking at some powerful forces here. Now the Russians and the French did have a bit of a clash. That's why the Russians tried to move through Galicia, but were soundly beaten back here. As you can see here, this force didn't even make it into our territory because the French gave it a sound thrashing. But perhaps they're starting to build up now in the Crimea as well, so we've got to be careful. We're going to send this Reykjavik spy here up to Moscow. Let's see what the Russians have. Also, we're going to try and replenish and repair here. We've got this defensive force here just to sort of guard against any push against by the Russians. We have to replenish a huge amount, not only of buildings but also of armies as well. And of course, we're moving further westward here, and we've got the inevitable confrontation with Spain. Not yet though, but we're hoping we can hold on for a little bit longer. But we are going to be moving into Venice as well. That's going to be a titanic battle, but we have chipped away at some of the Venetian forces here because they've sent them in against Munich, and they were soundly thrashed, to put it bluntly. We'll probably move this army back and join this army here.
Yes. Yes, sir.
I think that's what we'll do here. Gentlemen, please. Thank you.
Sir.
Let's get them. Oh, look, that's a powerful force there. We do need some howitzers.
Make ready.
Don't have just yet, but
Yes, sir, sir.
got these forces here. They can be moved. We've got to guard against the Venetians moving in against us here, especially against Munich. We can't lose Munich at all. We've got a powerful group here who's going to move in.
Sir.
Actually, we might just do that now. Let's make the move here into Austria.
Make ready.
Let us not dilly-dally any further, gentlemen.
Forward. March, sir. Sir. Your orders
We might
at
just
the ready. Sir. Your orders ready and awaiting orders.
put these forces into there
March. Ready for orders. At the
and
ready.
just add another. What do we have in cavalry
Yes,
here?
sir.
We need to retrofit these armies really quickly. We don't have that
Make
means
ready,
just yet.
sir.
As you can see, these armies are not up to full strength. We're going to have to retrofit these.
At
Do we have
the
any
ready.
cavalry? We have cavalry here. Let's send these gentlemen down. Oh, we've got this Venetian force here, so we'll have to deal with this Venetians here as well with this force
Make
here.
ready.
Plenty of guns here, sir.
Your
But we
humble
will
servant.
retrofit these forces
Waiting
because
for
that
your
cavalry is
ready
not
and
fit for
waiting
purpose. Neither is that gun there. But again, we'll use what we've got available here just to smash in the Venetians. We'll deal with this force here. Got to keep an strong eye here. We do need to fill out the Hanoverian sort of gap, as it were, here. I think what we'll do. We don't need forces here. We do. These guns are being put into production. That'll give us a good, strong defensive force, shall I say. We'll put them in the forest here if we can. Hopefully to ambush. Again, a call by the council also to move into Naples and also to move down. We've got a strong force here just hovering ready to strike into Sarajevo if needs be.
Yes.
We'll cut off this line here. Also got the 4th Continental Dragoons. No, Germany has been quiet. I think it realises what's in we've also got this force here. That's a very powerful force indeed.
Ready
And to whom do we throw? We've got no cavalry in there at all, but that is a... Oh, ho, ho, ho. Now that, my friends, is more like it. We might send this army in here against this force. It's defending... Let's see. Is that... Szeged, is it? I do apologise for the pronunciation there, but we might have to remove this Russian force here. As you can see, they're still loitering here and damaging many of our production facilities behind the lines. We can't have that. I think we might move against this force here. Yes, let's do that before we do anything else. Oh, look at that. We bring in a huge plethora here, but I don't think we'll need that. As you can see, this army has been soundly thrashed beforehand. I think we'll take this fight. No, I think we'll take this fight. We've got plenty of guns, Grenadier Guards as well. Cavalry as well will do its job. Let's put them to the sword. Let's clear Hungary. Of course, with Moscow going to be our ultimate goal, but we can't ignore St. Petersburg either. It's there in the north, sort of hanging almost like Damocles' sword. If we pull away without dealing with it, I can absolutely guarantee you that they will pull forces down and attack both Riga and Vilnius as we move out, as our forces are stretched further and further, because remember, the distance you've got to travel from Vilnius to Moscow is huge. So you're leaving that massive gap between your last defensive city and their main capital. So of course, we've got to make sure that we cover ourselves there. But look at the topography here of this map, this battleground here is extraordinary. Look at all these dips and mounds and hollows. Look at that for a sort of almost a valley here that runs right through. I think what we'll do is we'll pull the forces back here. We'll take the fight to them. We've got some cavalry here which we can put. Look at this, look at the size of our deployment zone, it's huge. I think we'll take advantage of that. We'll have some cavalry here on the right. I think we can definitely use the Grenadier Guards as an attacking force. I think that's what's going to happen here. Yeah. We've got more than enough here to deal with and defend against what the Russians have. Let's put our foot down here and let's show them what we're made of. Look at the Grenadier, look at that. I mean, that is exceptional. What an attacking force that is. That's a real monster of a force there. Now, we don't have a huge amount of guns, but that's not the point. This army does pack a punch. We'll set them fair here. That's more like it. It gives us a good barrage. Now, where does the extent of this quick line? Oh, that's a wonderful line there. It really is. Ponty. Now, we've got line infantry guards, and there as well, and here as well. We could theoretically use these to punch through on the left as well. This sort of bowl here, that's created by the topography here, would be perfect here because we can move in through the forest and attack into the Russian flank here on the left as well with these line infantry guards. Then again, we might even be able to use I think we use the Republican Guard to do that and use these gentlemen as the main defensive sort of anchor. I think that's what we'll do. Let's pull these off the line here. Oh, there they are, Republican Guards, sir. Perfect. Now, we'll set these gentlemen here. The 13th will be the main defensive unit here. We've got the 19th on the right, and then we'll have the. I know there's a number of naming conventions that the council have put forward that will be put in next episode. I can promise you, my friends, that will be done next episode. I promise. If there's no battle to start with, there will be a number of units being renamed, a number of armies being renamed as well. Some wonderful names put forward by the council. We'll have this line infantry here, and again the same here on the right. That's a strong defensive force we've got ourselves here, but let's really take the bull by the horns, as it were. We've still got these gentlemen as well. So again, we're going to make sure we're absolutely covered here on all flanks. And we can send out our attacking forces, more line infantry, extending fully right. Perfect. We've got one more regiment left here. I think we'll just put on the left here, just to give our line that absolutely solid line. Look at that, that's a heck of a defensive. And we've got a formidable attacking force. I think we'll just set these gentlemen fair here. And put them through here. Or we could put them and just move them around and absolutely outflank the Russians entirely. Because these Republican Guards, look at that for Republican Guards, sir. Let's begin the battle. Oh, we've got them, so we've got them. Here they come. We're all ready. Look at that opening up there. What a wonder, sir. Double time, gentlemen. Double time. Double time. Grenadier Guards, move it, sir. What the blazes are you doing? Dawdling behind this, sir. Move it. Oh, the Smolensky Grenadier Guard, they're the ones. Here they come. Stand fast, lads. Ready to fire. Oh, devastating volley, sir. They've had enough. Square! Look at the smoke here. Oh my goodness me, they run from... That's it, square, gentlemen. Cossacks. They're a brute in the charge. They've had enough. Oh, they've been absolutely decimated. Got a target our fire here. Oh, devastating fire. We're showing the Russians now. Who's boss, sir? Get into square formation, gentlemen. You've lost over nearly 100 of your fellow. Here they come, here they come. Go and thread the needle here. Gone. Blazes. Into the lads. Oh, look at that. You've absolutely eviscerated. Strong defensive line, sir. Close the door on me. Yep. Not broken, sir. Shattered. Got them surrounded. Oh, this is a bloodbath. Nothing short of a bloodbath. Gentlemen. lads. Oh my goodness me, that is a joint. Oh my goodness me, look at that. They've been absolutely obliterated. It's perfect. Look at this cauldron we've set there, this trap. We've got them, sir. Yes, the general's dead. That Ovenko gone, sir. They never stood a chance. They never stood a chance. Oh, a complete regiment eliminated in one fell swoop. Who remains? Who remains? Ah! Would you look at that? Let's get right into their faces, gentlemen. And in double time, please. This time, double time, gentlemen. Move! Take your time, move it. Get behind them. Guess grenadiers. Oh, they're almost going. They're going. You've had enough. Yes. Now that was a victory, my friends. That sent a message to the Russians. They might be behind our lines, but they won't be there for long, I can assure you. Look at that. 51 men remaining. Oh, Grenadier Guards done exceptional well there, sir. Oh,
Immediately.
That's more like it. Hungary cleared. We can move back into Zagade. We've got to be careful here. Anchor as well, looking. We really do need to push hard against these. Mind you, these are... We need to push hard against these gentlemen as well here. Put an end to this. Oh, that's perfect army for this one here. Put an end to this. What have we got here? We've got more than enough. Let's see if we can take rid of this Ottoman Empire force here. Well, we stand and fight. Yes, we've got mostly archers. We've got some grenadiers here. They've also got this Pious, which is absolutely a brute in the charge. Oh, they got cannon here as well, 24 pounders. They are one of the best for their cannon works. That cannot be denied. They've also got some Nizam here, which we haven't faced as yet. Not in great numbers anyway. Let's take the fight here. Let's clear Ankara as well. We really are on a mission here now. Today. That is a wonder. Oh, it's a brutally hot evening here, sir. Look at it. The haze in the background, the heat haze. It's a really hot day here. This force has work to do, and it shall be done without consideration for such things. Now, let's just get our forces into good order here. As you can see, we've got plenty of cannons and fire support here. I think we'll keep these together, as it were. We'll be looking to move on to attack here. We've just got the slope here, which is perfect for us. It gives us a modicum of protection. We'll just put them in there. their own groups here, because shrapnel shot can be an absolute brute. Look at that, and it absolutely fits perfectly here, shrapnel shot. Same for quicklime, oh, even better. So these are going to provide a real barrage. Now we've got plenty of cavalry here as well. Let's set up a defensive line first. Let's have a good strong defensive here, right on the ridge here. Let's not shirk away from this fight. We've got some good veterans in here as well. Right here. That's the core here, our defence. Right there. We do have a very powerful strike force here of cavalry, which I think will keep together here. And strike, oh, look at this, we've got, wow, the topography here does allow us, it's got this one hillock right in the middle here, would allow us to move all the way to the far right here, to move our forces away here. This regiment here, we'll use the topography here just to guide our deployment. Okay. We really are going to be gunning for all our enemies today. We're not going to give anyone any respite at all, any reprieve. We're going to be hitting them all, letting them know the United States is still able to defend its assets. We could even probably keep some in reserve. We'll put two more regiments on the right here. After that, then I think that should be. We're trying to strike force of 3 regiments. I think we're sending a strike force of 3 regiments with the cavalry. Let's be regressive here. That is a powerful strike force there. We'll send them with the cavalry. There it is. There it is. That's a real monstrous force there. Right. Let's set ourselves fair here and let's take the fight. Let's begin. Let's just show them what we're made of here. Let's bring all the guns to bear. Oh, we laid on there beautifully. Here they come, here they come, they're going to get a shrapnel shot. Oh, that's a one. Look at the Nizam, already gone. They're opening fire. Let's see if the shrapnel shot does its work. That was a... wow. That was a brutal shot. Right, let's get in there. Let's move the strike force up as well. Gentlemen, please. Thank you. Steady, Chad. Steady, lads. Oh, what the blazes? It's a bias. Oh, that was a sneaky attack right there. They caught us fully unawares there. I got all my hands up there. The bias caught us right on the hop there. They are brute, the bias. They really are. That charge then just confirmed it. Oh, wait. Ooh, look at that. He's going to feel that in the morning. It's overwhelming. That's overwhelming, lads. There's gentlemen, the court-martial will be in the offing here. Double time! It's overwhelming. Let's overwhelm this back line. They got absolute... That's how brutal the Sepoys are. They broke that regiment there. Well done. Let's absolutely roll up here on them. Don't give them any leeway at all, lads. Roll them up. They're broken all the way. Get them, lads. Get these deadly horsemen. If they want to fight, then we'll oblige. Oh, luckily we kept them in square formation here. They came back the suppliers. My goodness, we were brute. Come on, gentlemen. Deal with these deadly horsemen here. Come on, lads. Hold now. Hold. Yes. This is an absolute bloodbath again. We just swarmed them. No mercy, lads. Oh. Match for the might of the United States, sir. No match for the United States. None, sir. Oh, it's just been a brute to demolish. They've broken. Shatter them. Shatter them. Got them. Got them. I mean, that is an absolute slaughter. There's no other word for it. We've shown them now that Ankara is ours. Oh, lads. This, what a charge. Oh, that was a hit. Yes. They didn't stand a chance. That was a joy to see. We've absolutely obliterated them there. Statistics, look at that. Cuirassiers did all the heavy lifting there. Yes, away with you, sir. +1 to morale, +1 to morale and commanding infantry. +2 to morale and battle. Excellent. Just went to morale, and again getting inventory, excellent. Getting some excellent traits here. Got to bring these up to full strength here. Every single gold coin we can. As you can see, it's starting to hit our economy here, all this raiding. That's what we're going to dispose of these armies. Oh, they got the organ gun there. And they've got plenty of 64 pounder. I think we can end the turn here. We do have the Persians moving in here on Armenia. That's going to be a brutal fight there. We might just draw them in here and just do the damage we can with them. Let's end the turn, my friends. Let's see what happens here. Ooh. I think we can probably sort that one out there. Yes, I think we can.
Glorious victory.
Yes. That is Russia cleared from Finland. Now what will they do? That's the key. Britain. They've been a staunch ally, but they haven't really done much in terms of... Oh, wait a minute. France. Ooh, France after the rest of the Russians there, and they've even gone into Russian territory. Well, I'll be. Germany. What will Germany do? How will they respond, if at all? Nothing yet. St. John, Naples, and Sicily, of course. Ooh. Well, I'll be. We're gonna retreat. We're not going to be drawn into that fight there. If they want to come out from there, we shall oblige. That's a real run. That is a long retreat. I don't think they're going to find us there. I think we might have made a point. Oh, this looks like they're going to be sending in some ships here to do some damage. Ah, well, would you look at that? We're not going to put up with that. Ooh. Now that's a turn up for the books. Oh, they're pulling back to St. Petersburg. Oh, look at the tough nut. That's going to be the crack there, St. Petersburg. That is a huge... Oh, look at that. Right onto Riga. Yeah, they're putting... Yeah, this is... That's going to be a titanic tussle. That Naples is going to be a real menace to us. I'm not sure what's going on there, but it doesn't look good. What will Persia do? Oh, it looks like they're gathering their strength here. They're pulling away from Armenia. They don't want to tackle that garrison there. They know probably that the garrison will put up a stiff fight there. Actually, they're retreating here, but... Hang on a minute. Wait a minute. They're heading for... Hang on a minute. Why are they amassing in Amsterdam here? Netherlands. Nothing from Spain yet, but... Sweden. An erstwhile ally. Look at Courland. Courland really is a very powerful nation. They might be a single region, but something is afoot here. Ah! Gentleman in Bavaria. I think we might send him out on this mission here to spy for us. Let's see what's down in here. Now this here, 89,000, 97,000. That's not going to be. That is not going to. Oh, good grief! That is not going to be allowed by any means.
Fleet ready. Take ready.
If they want to fight, my goodness me, we'll oblige. We have the forces here. We do indeed. Let's increase our naval power, which we have neglected. Here is one. Now that's a naval force, which I think we'll bring to bear very, very soon. Here, we'll bring them back into the Baltic. And we also have this fleet here. Gentlemen, please. I think we'll bring this fleet back in. Look at that. We're going to show the Nepalese what we're made of here.
Awaiting further orders.
Let's see what they make of that. How's that affected? It's only gone down by 1,000, so the raiding of that line there really hasn't done much to ourselves. And to be honest with you, calling them the biggest benefactors. Russia's been cut off anyway, so that's not really doing much there, is it? So we've pulled those forces back here. How dare they move into here? We've sealed off that there. We've also got these in here, but then again, they're not going to be much good, the brigs. We want to save those in case we need to move forces. Right, let's get replenishing and repairing here. Let's get the Marine Force, the Marine Corps, should I say, back up to full strength.
Ready and waiting orders.
That's at full strength as well.
Sir. Ready for order.
Check every force here.
Make ready.
Full strength. And let's, yeah, they're at full strength as well. Right, let's get these replenished and repaired. Let's get the city back up to full strength. Garrison. Max up.
Waiting order.
I
Yes.
think, oh, that's a powerful force. I think we can move this force into here.
Troops forward. Make ready.
Again, here shouldn't be much. No, 428.
Ready and waiting
A
order.
lot of these armies are still in good shape. That's because the Marine Corps did a lot of the hard work there, though. Look at that. General CROMER's army, of course, in the thick of the action. What a fight that was.
Ready for order.
We got some wonderful advice from the council, which we are trying to. Oh, look at that! What the blazes is that doing there?
Ready and waiting order.
I think we'll send in this force to deal with them. It's not
Immediate.
going to be allowed either. We won't cross
Further
into
orders.
French territory just yet. But we are re-establishing our forces here. Let's also that one. This army here can be brought to full strength as well. And down here, we must not neglect Ankara's force here. This army really was the backbone of that fight there. It really did give them a sound thrashing here.
Ready for
I
order.
think we'll track down. Use this force here and send in
Yes, sir.
this army. Oh, mind you, that army is not looking good at all, is it? Let's be honest. Pull this army into Ankara here.
Make ready. At the ready.
That's a highly experienced John Zick here.
Yes, sir.
ETW, we might be moving against this army here. Let's replenish what we have here. That's an interesting fight there. We can track the line they took. Let's just follow what's going on in here. And also we're going to check out what's going on in Moscow as well.
Stealth is my.
It's okay. It's okay. Ooh. Excellent.
Facts are my currency.
Ah, now we're beginning to see the machinations here of the Russians. That's, yeah, they're starting to put some armies together here. Most of it's Cossack. does that mean they're starting to reach the end of their sort of ability to put together in the elite forces within? And again, I think we're going to start putting together and replacing. Let's get some cuirassiers here to replenish and replace these forces here. Other than that,
At the ready.
we need some more cannon here. Some 24 pounds a foot
Yes, sir.
to give this army, just to flesh this army out. And I think one more regiment of line infantry will do. We've sealed off that, but that's going to be a heck of a fight here. We've still got to deal with this force here, but like I say, in Petersburg, what a monstrous fight that'll be. That'll be an absolute brute. That'll be even tougher than Vilnius, and that was saying something. We need to remove the remnants here of these forces too. So,
Your humble servant. Ready for orders. Ready and awaiting.
that Marine Corps,
Yes,
what
sir.
an absolute monster. Of course,
Yes,
we've got
Your orders.
General CROMER's force as well, which is, I mean, look at the fighting there. Took a real pasting. That was the sheer magnitude of the fighting there. Those two armies, the Marine Corps and General CROMER's force, did a terrific job there. Anything else needs replenishing here and repairing? I don't believe so. We've got everything else under control, I believe. Ah, no. There. We have been raided extensively here, but I think what we'll do is we'll hit this force here now. And we'll remove it. No, we can't. Can we?
Impossible, sir.
Looks like they've got. We have to move all the way around here to deal with them. We might have to move the garrison out here.
Sir.
I'm entirely comfortable doing, but I'm gonna have to be the way it's going to be to deal with this force here. But that's okay. I think, my friends, that's what we're going to end this episode here. It's been an episode where we've cleared as much ground as we possibly can here. And give ourselves that ability to sort of start stretching our legs a little bit here. Ah, look at that. Oh, look at that mine there. We'll just do that there. Upgrade that there as well. Put the pleasure gardens in. Let's keep everybody happy here. Well, they go against this garrison here. That's the key. That garrison is a very, very tough garrison indeed. But it is effectively isolated now. Oh, look at that force there. My goodness me. That is scary as you can possibly imagine. We've cut off the main income there from Venice. That should be affecting them quite substantially. -2 to morale. -1 command. Hello, sir. I think that's where we're going to end this episode here, my friends. More of an operation imperative there to clear some of the remnants here of the Russians and indeed clear Ankara. I think we probably, it looks like we should invest in force in there as well. So let's get this. Look at that for a force. My goodness me. We still can't get line infantry here, which is, to me, is extraordinary. Or we can get some Native American forces, African native, I beg your pardon, and we can also get African light infantry mercenaries as well. But we'll have to get some of these gentlemen as well, I think, just to. I never understood why we can't get the line infantry here in the Middle East. That has always been a real conundrum. I think we've invested all we can at the moment. They're quite clearly heading for Damascus here. Quite clearly heading for Damascus. What we'll do is we'll leave these gentlemen here. But my friends, I hope you've enjoyed this particular episode. I'm going to end this episode here. But always, thank you for your wonderful advice. It will be taken on board, my friends, and we will next episode then be bringing that advice from the previous episode, which was a while ago, feeding that more and more into this campaign. But this was just more of a rest and recuperation, clearing some of the remnants of the Russian forces here in the east to make sure we've got a full operational imperative here, so all our forces are able to move freely here. Once these are replenished here, we'll deal with this force here, and indeed this one here as well. We'll eliminate those. I think we'll leave General CROMER's force when it's full strength to eliminate the rest of this. We'll move up then that General CROMER's force with the Marines once they are also put into back at full root health, as it were. But my goodness me, that's gonna be a fight and a half. Just removing this remnants here, taking St. Petersburg is going to be an absolute brute, and we still don't know what's going to be in Moscow. But that, my friends, is where we're going to end this episode here. I hope you've enjoyed. As always, my friends, please keep your comments coming down below. Thank you for your wonderful advice, your incredible support, my friends. Thank you as always for the support on the channel. It's been absolutely fantastic. I hope you're all being safe, being well out there. As always, my friends, thank you once again. But until next time, bye for now.